Hey everyone, and welcome to today. We're going to be getting nice and deep into our hips with some lovely hip opening stretches. We're also giving our legs a nice stretch too. If you feel up to it at the end, you can try the arm balance, so flying pigeon, and yeah, otherwise you can totally skip that out if you want. Otherwise, let's get straight into it. So we're starting more close to the top of your mat. In a cross-legged position, or whatever's easiest for you. If it's cross-legged, if it's your feet together, whichever way suits you best. So we're just going to sit here, maybe closing your eyes, reaching up through the crown of your head, and just taking a few deep breaths. And on your next inhale, just reaching your arms up over your head. And as you exhale, take your left hand to your right knee and your right knee behind you. Pulling your chest through. Inhaling, arms back up into center. Then exhale over to the other side. Inhale, coming up. One more to your right. Grabbing hold with your left hand, your left foot. Stretching it as well as you can. If you need to keep it bent, that's totally fine. Just stretching it out in front of you. And then taking your right hand over the outside of your left foot and then opening up to the other side. You should feel this nice stretch down the outside of your left thigh. And again, if you need to keep your knee bent, keep it bent as much as you need to feel comfortable. Pulling your chest through and dropping that foot back down into a cross-legged position. Now grabbing your right hand with your right foot or right big toe, stretching that out as much as you can to feel comfortable. Feeling that nice stretch behind the back of your thigh. Taking your left hand on the outside and twisting around to the other side. Now you should feel it on the outside. Now dropping that foot, keeping your right foot in front, maybe in a 90-degree angle if you can, or maybe taking it down into a 45 while you take that right leg back and coming into a pigeon pose. You may need to come up off your left hip here just to keep your hips square. Don't need to go too deep at first. Just whatever feels nice. Then tucking the back toes and slowly coming up into a down dog just to quickly change over to the other side. Making sure you're not rolling onto that right hip, keeping your hips square. Pulling your chest through. Tucking your back toes and coming back into your down dog. Now you might want to walk your legs out if that feels good for you. And then just taking a few more breaths in your down dog, just stretching the back of your legs. And taking your right hand and reaching to grab either your right knee or if you can down to your right ankle on the outside and pulling your chest through. Back to center, stepping through with your right foot into a low runner's lunge, engaging and lifting your hips up. activating that lunge and picking up that back foot and stepping through into your pistol squat and coming down onto your bum. Grabbing your right hand to the outside of your left foot and opening up into a revolved half boat pose. Pulling your chest through. Letting go of that left foot, dropping your right shin onto the ground, swinging that foot back around into your pigeon pose. Tucking the back toes and back into your down dog. Taking a round of breath here. Now left hand to the outside of your right ankle or your right knee or your right hip, whichever is the position that feels comfortable for you. Maybe looking under your right armpit, pulling your chest through. And then back to center, taking your left foot through now into your runner's lunge. Activating and turning on and lifting those hips. Stepping your right foot through, coming into a pistol squat on the other side and sitting down. Grabbing the outside of your left foot, coming up into a half revolved boat pose. Again, if you can't straighten your leg here, keep it bent if that's easier for you. Letting go of that foot, dropping that left shin and coming into your pigeon pose. You might feel your hips are slowly starting to loosen up here. Now tucking the back toes back into your down dog. One more round of breath. Bringing your right foot through into your runner's lunge. Activating. And then putting your weight into that front foot, coming straight up into your warrior three. Making sure your hips are square to the ground. Now bringing that top back left knee into your right in a mini squat for 3, 2, 1. Now with your right hand, grabbing that left foot, kicking into a mini dancer pose. Or you could come into a full one if you'd like. Now feeling that nice stretch on the front of your left thigh. Now letting go of that foot, coming up, crossing that left ankle over that right knee and squatting down into a pigeon squat. Coming back up, keeping that left leg raised and forward fold into your half split. Bending into that front knee, taking that left foot all the way back into your pyramid pose. Feeling that stretch just underneath your right thigh, on your inner thigh. Bending into that front knee, lifting the right foot off the ground, taking it out to the left into your fallen triangle. Left hand to the ground, opening up into a side plank. And then coming back to center and either through your vinyasa or straight to your down dog. Taking a breath here. Left foot to the front of the mat. Activating, turning on, and putting that weight into that front foot, up into your warrior three. And you may find one side wobblier than the other. It is definitely my left side. Now coming in to our squats for 3, 2, 1. Now your left hand grabbing that right foot, coming up into a dancer pose, feeling that nice stretch on the front of your right thigh. Letting go of that right foot, bringing it through, crossing it over the left knee into your pigeon squat. It's all right, if you fall out, just come back in, lifting up, forward folding, into your standing splits. Lowering that back foot to the back of your mat on the 45 into your pyramid pose. Bending into the front knee, lifting that foot, stepping through into a fallen triangle. Right hand to the ground and into side plank on the other side. Left hand to the ground and either through your vinyasa or straight to your down dog. You might be feeling your down dogs are a lot easier now, or you're getting a lot deeper into your down dog. One more round of breath. And taking your right knee through to your runner's lunge. Activating. Coming up into your warrior 3. Bending for 3, 2, 1. Grabbing with your right hand the left foot into your dancer. Maybe you can kick a little further into that hand now. Now bringing your knee back in, maybe adjusting your hand to grab more of the outside of your left foot. Taking your left hand to the ground and dropping into a baby dragonfly or baby grasshopper. Coming back up to standing. Bring that left foot forward, crossing over the right knee into your pigeon squat. Now, if you're wanting to take the arm balance here, or even just have a play around with it, taking your hands to the ground, you may want to readjust yourself on the mat a little bit. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. You're hooking your left foot over your right elbow, and just bringing some weight into it. If you want to play with it, you can play by taking that right foot off the floor, maybe even extending it out a little bit higher. Coming back into dropping your left foot and coming back into your pyramid pose. Bending into that front knee, lifting it up, stepping through to a fallen triangle. Right hand to the ground, side plank. You may even want to lift that top leg, drop it behind you, coming into a wild thing, lifting those hips. Coming left hand back to the mat, either through your vinyasa or straight into your down dog. One last time on the other side. One more round of breath. Your left foot stepping through into your lunge. Activate, turning on those hips. Coming up into your warrior 3. Going for our squats for 3, 2, 1. Grabbing that right foot with the left hand into your dancer pose. Bringing that knee back in, adjusting your hand to grab more of the outside of the blade of your foot. Right hand dropping to the floor and dropping into your baby grasshopper. I've only just got enough room here. Coming back up the same way you went in. Whoop, doesn't matter if you drop your foot. And coming into your pigeon squat. Tailbone tucked. Now if you're wanting to take it a little bit further, hands to the ground, you may need to adjust yourself on your mat like me. Hands underneath your shoulders, hooking that left foot up. And if you want to take a little bit further, lifting that back foot off the ground. And then maybe a little bit higher into the air. And then stepping back, dropping that right foot to the ground into your pyramid pose. Bend into the front knee, stepping through to your fallen triangle. Left hand down, side plank. If you want to bend that top knee, even take it behind you into your wild thing. And then bringing your right hand back and either through your vinyasa or straight back to your down dog, then into your child's pose. Then either rolling over onto your Shavasana or coming up when you're ready into a seated position. Hope you enjoyed that class today. It was a nice quick one. Hope your hips and your legs feel a lot more mobile. And I will see you next week. Namaste.